All right, everybody. Hello, everybody. Let's get to the spot. Let me get to the spot. Hey. Oh. No, I'm not. I'm not getting my master's or doctorate degree. Even though I may go back and get my master's, but more than likely I won't get my doctorate. I just don't see the. I don't see the value in it at this point. I'm doing other things that if I were to go and get my master's degree, I don't know. But I did take some really cool courses. That opened me up to a particular class that I took called Emotional Intelligence. Ooh, it was really good in my master's program. All right, this is Playing Your Greatness. I am your gracious host, Carlton Hamilton. And I might have one more piece, but this might be the final part of Chapter 7. And the reason why I'm wearing this is because the title of this piece, the chapter is called Chasing Bobby Smith. But this particular section is called, in life, are you tested or are you presented with a challenge? Or test versus challenge. All right, and I'm wearing this because typically in school, that's all you're doing. You're reading stuff, taking tests, reading stuff, taking tests, reading stuff, taking tests. Just kind of regurgitating things. And very few of my classes did the professor ever really challenge the class, or did the professor, allow for the class to have a very challenging discussion. It was always very, just talking specifically about, what we just memorized. But I always tried to think outside the box because I read a whole bunch of stuff. So I came in there very prepared with a very well-rounded view of whatever class I was in. All right, so let me take this off. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and keep this on just so we can, for effect. All right, here we go. Test versus challenge. Now, I was asked this question. Like, do I feel my life and my prison time, did I see it as a test or did I see it as a challenge? And I was asked that question long before I started writing the book. So I had plenty of time to think about it. I didn't answer the question at the moment because I just felt I couldn't answer the question. But after living some life and starting to write this book, when that question came, I wrote it somewhere. So it came up again. And I looked at it and I said, So this is what I want to share with you as far as how this relates to, it's in the book, but how this relates to my understanding of a test or a challenge. Now, let's think about it. School, okay? From pre-K all the way up to let's say a doctoral program. You're constantly giving tests, all right? Now let's think about that process of taking a test. Typically, you're in the class, your lecturer, they give you some handouts, and the instructor will probably let you know, hey, we're going to have a test in 2 weeks, and it's going to cover all the handouts that I gave you. You see what they just did? They basically just told you what's going to be on the test. Now, you're going to study all of that material because you don't know what particular questions, but you've been informed as to what area to cover. Same thing if they give you some reading and you're going to have a test in a week or 2 weeks. All right, let me get that out. This thing is flashing in my head and my eyeballs. If you have reading, they will say, hey, the test is going to cover chapters 1 through 7. Okay? So here you have a test, but you know what it's going to cover. Okay? Tendencies. It's like in football when you take a film study. You're looking for tendencies. Well, the handouts, the reading are tendencies. You're going to cover what's in here. You may not cover exactly in it, but if you read everything, if you answered all the questions in the handout, read them out, you would probably do pretty good because you have a pretty good idea of what that test is. Now, here's what's also. The professor or the teacher has office hours. You can go in there and get some more help from the professor during their office hours. Okay? You can ask very specific questions. So, handouts, chapter reading, office hours. These are all things leading up to a test. Okay? Now, they don't have a lot of this in high school, but in college, big on this. They have the tutoring department. So you can go and, get some tutoring, especially if it's in the areas of like math and science. All right? Or you can pay for tutoring. All right? Or you have the things that I liked, which were study groups. Ooh, some of the best looking girls hung out in the study groups. For you future college students, always go to the study groups. Okay? And here's a little tip. You can sit in there, and especially if you're smart and you know the material, like I did, you could sit next to a nice looking girl and just start barking off stuff, helping with her, and she'll look at you like, oh my goodness, I want to study with you all the time. Great. Do I need to say any more where those study sessions ended up? Yeah. All right. So you've got the lectures. Okay. They tell you that a test is coming up and they put it in the syllabus and say it's going to be on this particular date. So your test has a date that is going to happen. So all you have to do is gather up all your notes from the lecture. All you do is gather up all the handouts, your other notes that you took from the study sessions, from the meetings with your professor, from your hired tutor, from your free tutor, from text messages, whatever, from everybody that you know of in preparation for the test. Now, let's think about that. With all that activity going on, how confident would generally you feel about the test when it came up? Probably pretty good. That's probably why I aced on my test, because I did a number of those things and I was able to score very high on my test, get a good grade. All right, that's a test. All right, now let's look at a challenge. Okay? There are no dates. There are no preparations. Challenges are unannounced. Okay? Let me put it. They're unplanned, they're unannounced. Okay? Like even a baby. You can plan for the birth of the baby, but once that baby gets here, you have no book. I don't care what book anyone has written, it is never going to match what's going to happen in real life. Having a baby is a challenge. Getting in a car accident and having to recover through rehab, that is a challenge. Unplanned. My elbow surgery, I had 2 of them. The rehab that I had to go through, because here it is. The doctors and the therapist said, hey, all right, we had a successful surgery. It looks like you recovered very well. And here's the time frame. If you do this, these exercises, you run, you strengthen all the muscles around there, you should be able to get back onto the mound on this date. And then you follow these steps. You should be back full recovery, get some rehab assignments, and then you should be back up to full strength by this particular date. Okay? Sounds simple. However, they don't tell you the pain that a woman will tell you. Nobody tells you about the pain, or they can tell you, but there's no way to describe what the pain is going to feel like of having a child. No one could have told me what the pain was going to be like of going through the rehab after an injury. Okay? Sports seasons. Those are not tests. Those are all challenges, because you have the dates and everything. Okay, there it is. But once you get on the court, you don't know who's going to bring what to the game. Just like in life, you get in a relationship. Those are all challenges, because unless you've done your homework with this particular person, stuff is going to come up. Personalities might clash. You've got to be ready. You've got to be flexible, moving back and forth. You see the difference? Tests are planned. Challenges are unplanned. Okay, unscripted. You can kind of script yourself through a test, not a challenge. So that is my understanding, and that's how life was, is that there's an old saying that says you can choose your actions, but you can't choose your consequences, or you don't get to choose your consequences. That's the difference. In tests, you can actually prep for it, and you can actually choose how's it going to look, because if you don't prepare, you're going to score terrible. But in a challenge, you don't even really get to choose, or you kind of choose, but you don't get to choose how you're going to work your way through that. Oh my goodness, as far as you liking it or whatever, it's challenge is a challenge. It's something, again, it's unscripted, it's unplanned, and there is a huge difference in that. And so what I wanted to talk about specifically with that is test challenges. We can actually lower that learning curve on tests and on challenges, and we do it with tests by going to other people, by going to our professors. In challenges, man, we can actually, as we're going through the challenge, we can talk to other people. I talk to people that went through injuries, but here's the difference with that is, when it comes to things in our life that we want to actually eliminate some of the pain, we do want to reach out to other people. We do want to look at other people's mistakes. We do want to look at other people's successes, because anytime that you look at somebody that is doing something that is, or has done something challenging and is on the other end, that's the person to go to and ask them, say, hey, how did you get through with that? How did you get over those obstacles, those tough areas? They will tell you, because those things probably stuck out more in their head. They're like, oh my goodness gracious, let me tell you how this went. This is what you want to avoid. These are the things, and now everyone's looking at me now. I'm very successful, I'm rich, I'm famous, all that stuff, but they don't know these are the things that I went through. Those are the challenges. Okay? All right. So it's not a one-man show. And I'm here to, you see me on this video, but before I put this stuff together, I rely on a lot of other people's information. I look up a lot of things before I put together the video. So I'm learning as I move along that in order for me to get to where I want to go, and be able to speak to the audiences and improve the people's lives, gotta have a team. I can only do so much. I can only make so many phone calls. I can only be in so many places. I can only do so many things. I'm limited as far as my expertise, and there's other people out there that I can rely on that can help. So whether you're in a test or in a challenge, it's not a one-man show. Reach out to other people, rely on other people, and allow their successes and their failures to help you speed up the process, so you're not just running into a brick wall. All right? So my challenge to you is, whether you see yourself faced with a challenge where you can kind of see how you can plan for it, or you're in an unscripted, unplanned challenge, reach out to other people. They will save you time and money. So that's the challenge. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Reach out to other people. I promise you, you'll be glad you did. And here's what the other thing is. People tend to think that other people are not willing to give up that information. You'd be amazed at how many people are willing to help you. Nobody likes to see other people fail. Not people that have humanity in their hearts. They don't want to see you fail. They want to see you succeed. So they're more than happy to give their wisdom of their journey. All right. This is Carlton Hamilton. This is Plan Your Greatness. And I'm going to say this again. Plan your greatness. You know why? Because I didn't graduate here by myself. I had a lot of help. All right? So plan your greatness. You know why? Because no one else will. See y'all next time.